Israel. There's been a large amount of, I don't know how many, looks like ballistic missiles have been fired off. Somebody just posted something that the Israeli people were sent a text and a notification that they need to seek shelter for the next several days as times are going to get tough. We were talking about earlier the fact that they moved their hospitals underground expecting there to be chaos. And, do we know how many missiles so far?
I don't know how many so far, but Iran claims they have fired off hundreds.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Is this the type of attack that the so-called Golden Dome is supposed to prevent?
I believe the Golden Dome can get a lot of them. The ballistic missiles are a different thing than some of the other stuff they fire at there. And so...
But it's not like every missile fired is going to get through.
No, it's not. Plus, it's also, I mean, it's even last time when they fired stuff off, they hit their own country. So they're not great at this, but they've got these, depending on where you read and what you read, because nobody knows. I mean, you're not supposed to tell everybody how much you have.
Right.
They have anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000 missiles, ballistic missiles, and they claim to have one that can carry as much as 4,000 pounds of payload, that's a big
bomb.
That's a big bomb. I don't know how the Golden Dome is great. And the Iron Dome. We're building the golden one because it's got to be golden, right, Pony Boy, when it comes to Trump. And at least that's the thought we're going to build one. I don't even know what that thing would cost. So when you're telling your people, rather than, go to your safe room, you need to get underground, you're expecting stuff that get through.
Yeah.
You're expecting that not everything is going to work. And you can also expect at some point in time, you overwhelm a system, no matter how good it is, that it's going to be, some things are going to misfire, malfunction. So, and then you got to think too, what does Iran have on the ground anywhere around there when it comes to either Hamas or, because now you also have to look over at Lebanon, right? And Yemen, because this is not going to be, one of those things, although how much they want to get involved at this moment in time remains to be seen. But you're picking a lot of fights. And Iran, you're going to, I think they just want to do it. I think you're right, Ken. I think they're like, let's just finish this.
Israel?
Yeah, but what's it look like afterwards? That's the thing. What's like us, right? Are you going to spend years fighting them so you can replace them with somebody else who comes in and does what?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Netanyahu has said we're going to end Hamas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end Hamas. Who's next? Well, I mean, this region, I don't know if there can ever be peace there, man.
There can't be.
I don't care. I mean, and I applaud President Trump for trying. I absolutely applaud him.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, Israel is. They maybe, who knows? Maybe they had definitive intel that Iran is like this close to having a nuclear bomb, and I'm telling you, you don't want that Ayatollah.
No, you cannot, because they're. For the most part, everybody that has them, like I never once for a moment think that anybody who's got a nuclear bomb is going to use it unless they were forced to use it because somebody else used it on them.
Right.
I don't think Putin would ever use one.
I don't think he would either.
Because he understands the mutual, assured destruction, essentially.
Right.
I don't think that Xi would ever use one because they all understand what the potential is. Iran, that's a different story. Because they're not coming at it from a diplomatic, political sense.
Right.
They're coming at it from, we believe we are right. We believe this is the right thing to do based on our belief in God. And that's the scary thing. It is. So ballistic missiles, when it comes, I asked my buddy, can they stop them? Yes, they can. But it is going to be a layered defense. They said it is going to still be tough. Some are going to get through. And that's why they're telling them, yes, you
get shelter.
You're going to have to get shelter.
Get to shelter.
So
until further notice.
Which is, I mean, that's, your people are, it is, everybody's all, it's the Iron Dome, guys. Yes, but when we talk about the Iron Dome, we're talking about the run-of-the-mill stuff that they've been shooting off, whether it's Hezbollah or any of these other groups that have fired stuff off. A ballistic missile is something completely different. It's not just as simple as that. As of, oh, this will be good. They can track it. They can take some of them down. But also it comes to the point, too, where even they have mentioned it. You can overwhelm. And it only takes one. So,
yeah, it says it's the Iron Dome is effective, but yes.
Yeah.
The ballistic missile that's a different animal.
That is a different animal. And they're also now saying that it looks like several have gotten through. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, if nobody's up there, it doesn't mean anything. It means you've destroyed houses.
Right.
That's it. So so here's what it is. Technically feasible. Intercepting ballistic missiles, especially ICBMs, is extremely difficult due to their high speed, unpredictable trajectories, and countermeasures like decoy warheads or multiple warheads per missile. So according to the American Physical Society, note that even the U.S. defense system against small-scale ICBMs are uncertain. The Golden Dome's ambition to counter advanced threats from Russia and China are even more challenging. And now you talk about the fact that they've got 2,000 to 4,000. Yeah, some are going to get through. There's no doubt. So, I have a feeling, and this is just me, this weekend has a potential to get spicy.
On many fronts.
Yes. So, I wonder what Trump is going to do about this.
About Iran?
Or is he just hyper-focused right now because he has a big parade tomorrow? I feel like he's going, everybody's ruining my parade. I really do feel like there's a hyper-focus of his parade. You guys still thinking about the whole thing with the world blowing up? What about my parade? Oh,
yeah, I don't. I would be very surprised if the U.S. delegation and the Iranian delegation got together tomorrow to talk.
Yeah,
about
I don't think it's happening. This is Marcus Moore talking about what's going on and what they've been told over there in Israel when it comes to what's happening.
We can hear some of those explosions. There was one that was strong enough to rattle the wall a little bit here. And certainly it's very active out there. And generally, the thinking is that once those air raid sirens have sounded, that you have about 10 minutes or so to get to a safe place before one of those missiles or projectiles is believed to be a threat in the area.
So pictures are already coming out. 5 to 7 have already hit Tel Aviv.
Okay.
And there is smoke, and it is moderate damage in some areas, some injuries, at least 7 people so far. But obviously, it's hard to tell what's going on because there's chaos, and a vast majority of the people, hopefully, are underground. Oh, dude, it's spicy right now.
Yeah, it's unsettling. What's going on in the world? We're a powder keg right now.
You know, we lived through, and I don't think people realize the last 25 years up until October 7th, and even before before 9/11, it's been a quiet world. The world itself has been violent for a very long time.
Sure.
Conquering has gone on forever. We had a 30-year stretch where it was probably the quietest, arguably, it had ever been. Nobody was, really was pretty quiet. Cold War ended. Everything was kind of quiet. Then obviously 9/11 took place, but it pretty quiet. This has been, this is the closest I can remember. Because there was tension. I wasn't alive for the, for the Cuban Missile Crisis, but there was tension before, and I think the most tension I can remember as a kid was it when the Russians shot down the airplane. Remember that when they shot down the jetliner? That was very tense. But this is the most tense I've felt that stuff can break out in a way that we've never seen. Right? Because you go back even to the 7-Day War and stuff, it was regional. You never felt like it was coming here, and we weren't getting involved like we are now.
I don't recall in my lifetime a superpower doing, let's say, what Russia is doing to Ukraine.
No.
I do. I know that Israel has always fought back whenever they've been attacked. But like I said, man, October 7th triggered something, and they are a completely different animal.
They are.
I don't know if they're even listening to us.
I don't think they are. To be honest, I do. I myself think that if they were listening to us, I don't think that
yesterday
would have happened. It may happen on Monday or Tuesday, but Trump, they all came out. Even Rubio came out and said this is a unilateral thing. They did this on their own. We're backing them, but they got it. From what I understand, Bibi and Trump talked last week, and it was a shouting match. Because I'm like you. Trump believes everybody wants to be prosperous. He believes everybody wants to be wealthy. He thinks the economy will solve all ills. When you're dealing with people whose religion is so important as to kill the infidels, your religion could be important, right? I'm a Christian, you're a Christian. I don't want to kill the infidel. That is what they believe. They believe that this is their land. This is theirs. It's more than just, hey, here's a few bucks in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And Iran has wanted this for a while, and they were efforting to get it. And yeah, they were probably way closer than a lot of people wanted to believe. But I also think Israel changed a lot after October 7th, and they wanted to make sure that nothing is going to stop them. Now, what's going to happen around the region? That's what I'm waiting for. It's not just Iran. What happens regionally?
Who else gets involved?
If stuff starts to spill over to a certain area, if somebody goes over somebody's no-fly zone and you scramble jets, I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's the unforeseen circumstances and consequences of what's taken place.
Well, and what if, let's say that Modi and whoever's running Pakistan decide, you know what, I just hate you too much. Everybody else is fighting. Let's go at it. Let's go. Because Trump got them to stand down.
He did.
A couple of weeks ago, I guess maybe about a month ago, they started trading missiles.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
India is the one to watch.
Yes, because they buy tons of stuff from Iran, but they really don't like Muslims at all. I mean, if you go and look at Modi and them, that guy has come out and said, if the minute gets more than 20% Muslim in your country's ruined. And so you're dealing with a bunch of people in a region that all have different beliefs, but they all are tense around each other. And the potential for this thing to get ugly fast it's been a long time since I've thought to myself, I feel like stuff is about to pop off in a way we've maybe never seen. I hope that doesn't happen. I
felt that way Wednesday whenever the Pentagon was out with that.
Yeah, because it was such a quiet, kind of like under the radar kind of announcement.
Now, hey, if you guys want to leave, just let us know. We'll get your families out. And
it's getting spicy, everybody. Coming up, we got more spicy stuff. We'll find out how Alex Padilla, maybe we'll give him a call and see if he's okay. After the incident yesterday, much like what's taking place in Iran, he got invaded by an FBI guy. Even CNN's like, you guys are so stupid to think this was real. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.